Everyone. My name is Jashanti Gordon. All right, got everything. Hi, everyone. My name is Jashanti Gordon. I'm an elementary education major here at Florida Atlantic University, with a minor in social work as well. So here today, I'm going to be talking about my BRI experience. So obviously, this is a presentation done by me, and this is for my RED 4552, and this is the fall 2025 semester. So obviously my student, let's go over some things about my student. He was in the second grade and he was also a male and he was a very, very strong reader. I could tell from the moment I met him that he was a very strong reader, due to his like very much how much he was ready to read before I even gave him a book. Like he was very much a strong and very persistent reader. Like even if he struggled with some words, he tried his very, very best every single time. You could tell that's like the kind of the culture that was set in that classroom. Like even if you did not, if you did mess up, you do try your very, very best. And I could tell that based on how he was reading before I even gave him the assessment. So also he was a very adequate he has very adequate comprehension skills, unless it was a topic that distracts him, because during our assessment we read a story about a birthday and he recently had a birthday. So he was thinking more so about his birthday rather than what we actually just read, and that distracts him. So, and he also had trouble with answering critical thinking questions like, what did the author think? Why did you think the author did this? Or why do you believe this happened? Things like that kind of stumped him. And so our tutoring was primarily focused on retelling with relatable stories and critical thinking with evidence. So that way he can become better at those required skills in reading. So my first and last day, so very first day, like well, I had this whole activity planned, but I had a couple of different activities planned because I did extra credit where I could do different things that I could get to know the student. So instead, we did like a Jenga. So every time we picked the Jenga, we would pick a question, and he would ask a question, I would ask a question, and we just got to get to know each other about, I think we did like at least like 15 of these questions on this list. I use this exact same questionnaire as well. So he was fully engaged and very welcoming and very receptive for me pulling him from class, even though like that was his reading block, in like his reading independent block. He really like enjoyed getting every time that I came there, he always gave me a hug and was very sweet. And I could see the transformation from the last tutoring session because he was more willing to try things he knew he struggled in, especially like the critical thinking, because that's where my students struggled the most in. And as you can see at the bottom, that's where he messed up during his word list. And you could tell like from the start to the finish, he definitely was good. And on our last day, we agreed that we played a game that he wanted to play. I don't remember the name that he called it, but it was some quick little game. And he insisted on playing. So that's how we kind of ended things for our assessment. So some highlights. My favorite part was going into the field. I love any class that I have to go into the field physically for. I love going into the field and having conversations with students, and especially because this student was very, very funny. And I love speaking to also educate other educators, like because I get to know a little bit about my future, as a future educator. And the most challenging part is lesson planning. It's never my strong suit, which is why I really like it. Always takes me like last minute to do everything, because lesson planning is really hard for me. A reflection. If I could start from the beginning, I would start reading to understand earlier in the semester. That would be the textbook, that would be the assignments, that would be the modules, because I feel like Professor Sparks, you gave us the full layout to do everything. So it really wasn't that hard. It was just like a matter of actually me reading ahead of time so that way I could be prepared. That was a neat thing. And I would say reach out to the professor earlier because our professor for this class specifically did help out a lot. And of course, lay out everything for each part before going into the field because I did mess up a little bit and I had to use some teacher resources, but everything got done in the right way, and that's all that matters. So, yeah, thank you. Have a good day, y'all.